Yo, what's going on guys? Chris Warner here at Overtime Athletes. For today's video, I want to get into our full progression that we utilize in the off season to be able to develop single leg power. So there's a lot of different plyometrics that we use, whether it be for, just dynamic on the turf, continuous jumps, unilateral plyometrics to increase linear speed. This is gonna be specifically to develop vertical force. More or less, we're gonna use this progression through box jumps, if you will. And what I want to be able to do is go from the most controlled static jumps and then increase the complexity of the jump, increase the stress of the jump so that it's more dynamic, right? And then it's more transferable over to the field or court. So getting things kicked right off, the first one that we're gonna start with is going to be a half kneeling jump. Now, a half kneeling jump is one of my favorite single leg jumps. Again, these first couple are extremely tough, but they are paramount for being able to develop an athlete's ability to produce force in a deeper range of motion or in harder positions, right? Either we're eliminating levers, we're starting from a static position. In any event, all of these are in a more controlled manner where the athlete has to produce a good amount of force. So first one is gonna be a half kneeling jump where the athlete's gonna be in a half kneeling position, just like a half kneeling start. Now, obviously in this position, the athlete is gonna be jumping off, really being able to push through one leg. I know both legs are on the ground, but we're predominantly focusing on the leg where the knee is up. So we're gonna make sure that we alternate all of these jumps so that you're doing both on both sides, both legs, if you will. And essentially what I want the athlete to be able to do is when they're ready, I want them to be able to produce force in this deep knee and hip bend, right? So through this increased range of motion, right? Meaning a deeper range of motion, the athlete has to be able to produce force, come out with intent like they're coming out of a cannon. So it's here, standing up, push, jump. Every jump that we do here with our single leg series is going to be off landing on both feet, right? So I'm not really concerned with the landing. I'm more concerned with getting the biggest jump we can. Then from there, we're gonna progress to a single leg seated. Again, another extremely tough jump. It's gonna feel like you're not gonna be able to get a lot of height, but the whole goal here is to build that base, that foundation on which we can produce force. So this one here is gonna be from a seated. A lot of athletes will ask me, can I rock? Can I put my foot down? I wanna start in the most controlled position. So I'm gonna have the athlete start by slight rock, but keeping the foot on the ground. Now, as I go through a progression block, I might have the athlete lift the leg up to get a little bit more force, or if the athlete doesn't have enough power, I can have them lift that leg up and explode. So it's here, push off the ground. From here, the next one, we're gonna go a non-counter movement, right? So again, from a static position where the athlete isn't getting that stretch reflex, stretch shortening cycle, they're more starting down in that already bent knee and hip phase where they're here under control, explode out, boom. Again, they're just not using that rebounding, reactive-like effect. The next one after that is gonna be hands on hips. So hands on hips, right, is a single leg jump, or we could do it bilaterally, but you're not using your levers, right? So we're not using both arms. You're gonna do a counter movement jump, single leg, however, you're just not gonna use your arms. So it's here, punch up, land two. Then from there, we can obviously get into our counter movement jump where we add the arms, right? So this is a basic single leg jump. Here, swing the arms down, explode up. And then last but not least, the most dynamic form of this, obviously we can add some different things. Depending on the level of the athlete, we could do some rebound jumps where they're landing off of a bench. We could do some small hurdle jumps where they're doing a couple continuous 1, 2 into a vertical jump. I could take this many different fashions. The last one I like to end with is gonna be a single leg approach. So it's just like the athlete is doing a layup, being able to produce force off that single leg and getting approach. All right, so it's just gonna be here, boom, land two. So there you have it. There's 6 different jumps and about 10 different variations you could do, and see how we progress through an off season throughout these jumps to be able to develop single leg power. Try those out. Hope it helps you guys out. Talk to you guys next time.